one of the greatest parshiot in the Torah, Parashat Kedoshim, the holiness code, which if we had nothing else to read, if that was the only Torah we ever received, we would be, no doubt, with great guidance. So the parsha begins, Vayidaber Adonai el Moshe lemor, God spoke to Moses saying, Daber el kol adat b'nei Yisrael, speak to the whole community of Israel, ve'amarta alehem, and say to them, Kedoshim tihiyu, you shall be holy. Ki kadosh ani Adonai Elohechem, for I, the eternal your God, am holy. We've probably all heard these verses innumerable times, but what can we learn if we turn them just a little bit, these oh so familiar verses? The rabbis were troubled by the connection between the holiness of the ultimate eternal one and the commandment that we, lowly, mere humans, should be holy. Could God have meant to teach that we could ever reach the level of divine holiness? How audacious and how intimidating. Rather, says Rabbi Menachem Mendel of Varka, we should reach the level of holiness that we can reach. We are commanded to be holy at the level we are on. Kedoshim tihiyu, in every situation in which you find yourself, sanctify yourself and reach just a little higher. Not all the way to divine holiness, but just a little higher. So holiness is about never being done. A wonderful teaching for spiritual caregivers. We must never assume that we know. We must never stop learning and growing as we are doing together here this week. And where do we find holiness? Holiness is found b'toch b'nei Yisrael, not in the splendid isolation of a mountaintop or in the heights of ascetic piety, but in the midst of the people of Israel, in the midst of relationship. This is the Torah we need as spiritual caregivers. The work of accompanying the other is, as we know, messy, imperfect, and demanding. But when we are able to get ourselves out of the way, when we are present and humble, when we really connect with the individual opposite us, not as an it, not as a patient, an elder, or a sufferer, but as a thou, a marvelous, mysterious, whole human being, then as Buber teaches, we can feel the presence of the divine. As Jonathan said to David in yesterday's Haftarah, Adonai yihiyeh beini uveincha ad olam. Let the Eternal One be between me and you forever. So a blessing for spiritual caregivers, a chevra I am so deeply honored to be part of. May we have the zechut, the merit, to truly meet the other. May we ever grow in tenderness and humility. And may we and those we accompany be enfolded beneath the loving wings of the Shekhinah, the divine presence. And we say, V'nomar.
Amen. Amen.